Alright, so we're gonna get these girls started. It is about that time. We got a few more days to go, but I'm gonna show you what the preparation is before I even start the seeds. So first, we're gonna have some Girl Scout cookies from Bloomberg Seeds, and then we're gonna have some Gorilla Skittles from Barney's Farm. Put them in solo cups. And the first thing I like to do with the solo cup is take some scissors and cut the bottoms. I usually cut along the edge here, and probably about 5 spots, maybe an inch long, and I find that gives the best drainage. And then a single hole in the middle is optimal, but all around the side is plenty. After that, we'll be throwing in our veg mix here. I have a little left over from previously. It may be a little dry, I don't know. But what we're gonna do is use some kelp to start it up, give it some base, and then also add in our enzymes. As the seedling starts to grow, I'll be adding in the microbes, which will be one of the first nutrient feeds for the plant, and the main nutrient is going to be grow. So we're going to be using this because every time I have to mix up little tiny bits, I change the recipe and it's hard to keep track. So this is basically already mixed, good to go. We have our grow and bloom in teaspoons back here. So I only have the grow for now. I got about a month to get the bloom, which is perfect timing. I don't need to rush into it. So we just do a teaspoon, 1/8 of the B vitamin, but instead of using B vitamin, because it costs so much, we're going with the enricher, because they are the exact same. 2 pounds of the enricher for around $69 Canadian. Versus 2 pounds of B Vital for 110 to anywhere between 150 if you get it from your local grocery store. It's always nice to support your local grocery stores, but when you're trying to set everything up and you have that big upfront cost, I can guarantee you getting the enricher is going to help a lot. So with the enricher, all you have to do, add 1 tablespoon to every gallon of water and mix well. You can use the enricher once every 2 weeks when watering is required. Now, if you want to save your enricher, because this is exactly magnesium and sulfur, so magnesium sulfate, same thing as the B Vital from NPK Raw. It's magnesium and sulfur, so magnesium sulfate. They are identical. Packaging is different, the color is different. You're getting a way better looking container. It's solid, it's easy to store on your shelf, it doesn't fall over. I shouldn't say that, but these bags are kind of annoying to open and close. Sometimes the Ziploc at least breaks. So with enricher, you got a nice easy lid to open and unscrew. But here's the trick with B Vital. You know, if you want to use a good recipe, you got 1/8 teaspoon per gallon of water versus the 1 tablespoon per gallon of water. Now, you don't need a tablespoon per gallon of water, but if you're just using this as your main ingredient in an organic grow, magnesium sulfate is going to help out tremendously. Easy peasy. I made sure I gloved up before I started, and I cut these little slots in the bottom of the cups. I didn't put a center hole because when I cut the slots it made the bottom weak, so I recommend poking the hole in the center before cutting the slots on the side. Either or, doesn't matter, as As long as you have slots and drainage on the bottom, you're good. So right now we're gonna go mix some enzymes and kelp into a gallon of water, and we're gonna pour it into this 1 liter spray bottle so we can slowly soak the soil and get it prepped for the seeds. And what's left of the gallon, we're gonna be putting that into a paper towel and wrapping. Now we have our Girl Scout cookies and our Gorilla Skittles already good to go, sitting in a dark container, and we're gonna be getting these started. It is about that time to get these seeds on roll. I feel like I have learned enough to start growing some proper genetics. Been waiting a long time for this. So here's the start of a new grow. Okay, so we got the journal started. We took the air stone out of the reservoir for a minute to get this all aerated while we mix our enzymes and kelp. Before we put the enzymes in though, we are going to pH the water properly. So we'll put a 1/16 of kelp in and a 1/16 of enzymes into 1 gallon of water. And that is going to be our starter for these seeds. And it's just going to help with the roots and get them fully developed so that we can get some strong growth in the first stages of the seedling's life. So here we go. I'm going to set you guys up on the tripod and we'll be mixing these things up right now. Stay tuned. Well, it just so happens my luck with technology, my tripod decides to die, so I tried to hook it up to a battery and it's not charging fast enough, so I gotta let it sit for a while, and I can't sit for a while, so let's get this mixed. We're going back with the handheld using my phone. I'm thinking it's better quality than the action camera I have. Hopefully soon I can get a different camera in so we can get better angles. We're gonna mix this up. So I'm gonna just simply take this kelp here. We're gonna take the raw spoon. We're gonna just get right in there for a tiny bit. We're at 1/4, well less than 1/4. So if I fill this up, this is less than 1/4. Half of it's 1/8, so that's pretty much a 1/16. Tap it in, it's just a little. We're gonna go ahead and pH the water and then toss in our enzymes the same way. So the pH meter I have set up here, my Apera instruments. I'll take it down. I gotta rinse it off, so I'll just set it out from the cap like this carefully so it doesn't spill, and then we'll go over. Now you always want to rinse it off in distilled water. You can use tap water, but after a while you will need to wash off the residue that builds up on your electrode. If you use distilled water or reverse osmosis water, you will not have to do that. When you clean it, it's going to be a lot easier. Just simply brush it, basically. With the Apera instruments, you give them a review, and they send you this nice little carrying kit. It comes with the microfiber cloth and this brush to clean off your electrode whenever you need it. So simply rinse it off, shake it, shake, and this is how you know you're going to get perfect measurements every time. All my other pH meters, you know, they do read okay, but quality only in this garden. So turn it on simply. It's going to tell me where we're at. Set it in, let it adjust, and when it settles, it's going to go blue or red. And if it goes red, that means the pH is out of range, like that. So we'll dip it in because I had it out of water, and we'll wait for the pH to climb or to decrease. Nope, so we're staying out of range here. It's showing up red. So what I like to do now is take some water. I have this out from last night. It's just regular old distilled water sitting in here. I'll just set this in there so that my electrode doesn't get the soaking solution on it, and then I don't have to re-rinse it. I just have to do a little shake. So this tray is 7.19. It's staying at that. So now we were at 7.2 or 3. I got a gallon of water. We're gonna have to come down. I take some pH down from TNB. Just need a tiny bit. That should do me. We'll see what happens. You don't want to do too much. If you're using completely distilled reverse osmosis water, you know, it's gonna take very little to adjust the pH. If you're using just regular old tap water, even if it's been sitting out for a day or two, it will take a little bit. It just depends on how many salts and what the acidity level of the water is, or the alkali level in this case. So we're just gonna let that sit for a bit, and because I have the air stone going, it's gonna keep the water oxygenated, and it's gonna mix up the nutrients along with the pH adjustment. So we'll come and grab this and we'll watch it go down, and we'll see how much it goes down, because that'll tell me how much more I need to put in. At 6.68, I like to go down to 6.5, so I'm gonna just bring it down a little bit more. I just want to rinse off the tip of this. I got crystals on it. If I just rinse that and then go dry it or wash it off. If it goes below 6.5, as long as it's above 6.3, I'm good. Oh, 6.46, 6.3. Like I just barely rinsed it off, and we're down 6.24, it's 2.5. So we're above 6.0. Because it is a neutral soil, I want to bring the pH of the soil down before my seedlings even go in, so that works even better for me to go with the 6.2 pH. That way my soil will go from 7, the neutral, and it should be sitting around 6.5 where I want it, within just the one soaking, and that should be long enough to have my seedlings germinated. We'll be doing that shortly here, but let's close this up. Nice and easy seal, no problemo. Toss her on the shelf. Get this bucket out. What to do? Set her up here. Take this. Okay. Enzymes, we gotta add them in first. So I got more than an 1/8 there. I just want a 1/16. So I'm just gonna sprinkle a couple little taps onto it, and we're gonna put the rest back. So I'll take this out and toss it back. Ooh. So we're gonna just set that aside for now. Take this gallon, and I'm gonna need 2 hands for this. Perfect. And now the rest of this is gonna be for a seed soak. I can keep it on the side for when I go and do waterings with these little germinated